Reality check, man, from your device. You know, it's a unique one, aromatic, realistic TV. Anyway, tonight, my viewers and subscribers, Mr. Ralston Hyman and Isaac Buchanan meet up. Now, you know that when the number one financial analyst in Jamaica, Ralston Hyman, and the number one constitution lawyer in Jamaica, Isaac Buchanan, meet up, you know, say no good again. Everything they get exposed from top to bottom. The man them expose the Andrew Holness administration to the T, brother. Listen what the financial economist guru stated, Ralston Hyman. The Jamaican politician are the highest paid in the Caribbean. But listen to this now, my viewers and subscribers. And the Jamaican economy is the worst in the Caribbean. He goes on and he stated, in terms of salary, Jamaicans are the lowest in the Caribbean. So we have the worst economy in the Caribbean, and for we politicians, them get the biggest pay. Our workers, them get the worst salary. Think about that, no man. Think about that. Jamaican have the worst economy in the Caribbean, but our politicians are the number one paid politician in the Caribbean. But in terms of salary, where it concern about the regular workers in the Caribbean. You hear what I just say? Jamaica ranked the lowest in the Caribbean regarding to salary. Only 80 Jamaica higher than. Just think about that. So our politicians get the best rate, the best pay, but at the same time, Jamaica economy is the worst in the Caribbean. Anyway, Jamaica, without any further ado, I am going to play the clip. And then we will dissect it after. Kick back, sit back, relax. Gain wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. As Isaac always say, context matters. Listen what these two gentlemen have to say to us. Take it away.
And I'm glad you said that. But here's the thing now. There was a 300% increase in salaries for members of parliament and as well as, the, I want to say the elite class, but I don't want to sound disrespectful. So you can guide me as to what is the correct thing to say. But the people at the top were given 300% increase.
Politicians and the permanent secretaries and those people, yeah.
Yes, those people. And I'm going to speak, I'm going to advocate now for the teachers, police officers, nurses, doctor, public sector
Right now as you speak, we just heard the president of the Medical Doctors Association talking about the way they are being treated by the current finance minister after the way the first one treated them. Yeah? Mm-hmm. That dispute, that was a headline on the news a while ago.
Right. And I want to add one more. My favorite persons right now who I have pity for, which is the assistant directors of public prosecutors, the prosecutors, the prosecution arms. They're not paid commensurate to the amount of files that they have. Defense attorneys are now even taking pity on them. I see in the comments where persons are saying everybody got an increase. So I'm putting out misinformation. You are the expert. I want you to give me the disparity, for clarity, the disparity in the salary increases for the top persons versus the Trump change, as I would call it, for the public sector workers generally, and why is it that everybody broke? Yeah.
The majority of the public sector workers, they had to hug up 20% over a 4-year period, while the people at the top, they got 200 and 300% over the same period of time. and they are the ones that are doing the work, and that is why most of those people are migrating, and we have the skills drain. Yeah, so that is what really happened. They paid Ernst and Young $1 billion, which we are still questioning because that report has not been tabled before the parliament to get
Mm-hmm.
to tell them how to do that. Now, this is the most inequitous way in which the public sector salary situation has been dealt with, and the people are still quarreling. The doctors and the nurses are still quarreling about what they got given the work that they have been doing, and that is why many of them, doctors, teachers, nurses, are migrating, and that is why the public is being treated so badly when they go for these basic social services, because the people who have to provide these services, they are not properly paid, and the system is underfunded.
But in context, the prime minister said that you get what you pay for. Therefore, the increase in salaries, especially for the politicians at large, was to ensure that the persons who are politicians is to attract the brightest of the bright and the best of the best. Here we saw just this
Correct.
week, and I'm putting it all in context. Just this week, a return of Dalrymple. We saw what appears to be no definition of jobs. We see an admission by the prime minister himself that his members of parliament is underperforming and they need to pull up their socks. We saw their Montague is his name. I think he's their chairman or something like that, and he's saying that
Mm-hmm.
one of the reasons why the voter turnout is so low is because people are dissatisfied because they left out the people. And most importantly, just this week, as you said today, states of emergencies announced in St. Andrew South and Central. So we've gone back to wasting money with states of emergencies, as well as, you notice I'm conflating issues, as well as
Yeah, man.
it has been said, and this is the most important thing, that the salary scale.
Then I stray from the argument with Ralston Hyman and Isaac Buchanan, where they bring back states of emergency. Enough of them killing here, is orchestrated by the government. Because for them to implement certain things and carry out them zozo and them state of emergency, them have to make something that take place in the country. Then them gone back again, gone break the law. And I talk about them bring out states of emergency. 9 years now you are in government. And you are using states of emergency and zozo. And crime is out of control. So why still using it? Why still using it, Jamaica? If you are trying something for 9 years and it is not working, why you continue to go back and repeat yourself? Does that make any sense? That no make no sense at all. Because you don't have any idea and you don't know how to deal with crime. Because you guys, to me, are creating the crime. And that is the reason why you can't solve the crime. Anyway, continue, my brother.
Jamaica is like the lowest of the low.
Mm-hmm.
So we are the poorest of the poor in terms of salaries in comparison to our sisters or our neighbors in the Caribbean. Our salaries are very low. Mm-hmm.
Only 80 in the Caribbean is below Jamaica. Only 80 in the Caribbean is below Jamaica.
It's below Jamaica. And Haiti is a separate class in terms of a very uniquely positioned Caribbean island.
Yeah.
I just wanted to comment on a more wholesome, the conflation. If I need to repeat, just let me know.
All right. So the problem is that the system in general is underperforming and the people are dissatisfied because the provision of basic social services is woeful. The Prime Minister just declared the roads a national emergency after Daryl Vaz has been pressuring him to do that, to declare the roads as a national emergency. The country's infrastructure, road infrastructure, river infrastructure, bridge infrastructure, hospital infrastructure, school infrastructure, everything is in a state of dereliction because of the poor performance of the administration. The Jamaican administration, the administrators in Jamaica, Jamaican politicians are the highest paid politicians in the Caribbean. The Prime Minister's salary is almost near to that of the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom and Great Britain. Yet the Jamaican economy is one of the worst performing economies in the Caribbean. So there's no correlation between the salaries of the people at the top and the productivity of the country. Right. Now, you spoke about Jamaican workers being the lowest paid in the Caribbean. Jamaican workers put out the lowest output in the Caribbean. So we have 3.6% unemployment, but the economy is in a recession at the same time. That is contradictory to the law of economics. If you have the lowest level of unemployment, the economy is supposed to be booming, and what we're supposed to be doing is to try to contain inflation. The economy is supposed to be overheating. So if your car is full of gas and it is working properly and you're pressing the pedal, the car is supposed to be moving faster. So although we have the majority of our people working, 3.6% unemployment, the economy is in a recession because output is low, because our human capital is not properly trained, and they are not doing any value-added work. Simple.
And
He's totally right. Because if you look at it, Jamaica, if our unemployment is now sit at 3.6%, then why our economy is the worst in the Caribbean? Is this making sense? Our unemployment sit now at 3.6%. If you have a 3.6% unemployment, then why your economy is not booming? No road in a Jamaica shouldn't deteriorate. Nobody in a Jamaica shouldn't suffer. Everybody down in a Jamaica should have drive all the Benz, Beamer, Corolla. You understand what I'm saying? Because your unemployment is doing so good. You no see say something not right. Something not right, it just now add up, it just now match up. And let's go back where he stated that the Prime Minister declare state of emergency for our roads. The Prime Minister of Jamaica declared state of emergency for our roads, as Ralston Hyman stated that Darrell Valls pressured the Prime Minister and the Prime Minister buckled under the pressure of Darrell Valls. Our road is now state of emergency. Jamaica, I want you to think about these things, and think about these things deeply. As well thinking concerned citizen of Jamaica who put country first over party. The Prime Minister of Jamaica declares states of emergency for our roads. So you are telling me that for 9 years, the people elect you, give you the mandate to serve on their behalf, for you to make sure that every Jamaica live in style and comfort. Every Jamaican live to their best and true potential. And after 9 years, you cannot show nothing. After 9 years, you are coming out now and declaring state of emergency on our roads. You take 9 years and destroy everything that was undown to you. What a disgrace. State of emergency for our road. Because I want you to understand, my viewers and subscribers, and get this. May I talk to the youth in the ghetto, the garrison, the inner city, rural Jamaica, and the urban community. Because I know them want to try for trick, I know them want to try for trick because them can't go uptown. So them are come with all of these things now, where them going to accumulate money to push around and try to buy and bribe youth. Youth, hold on for pride and hold on for dignity this time around, and tell them when they come, say if we have to wait 9 years, Andrew Holness, for you to come and do us this, we can wait another 4 or 5 months before the general election. Run him with youth and tell him, say Andrew Holness, if we can wait for 9 years for you come and want to give us one little piece of tuppence, we can wait till the next 5 or 6 months before the next general election to vote you out, brother. Anyway, we continue with Ralston and Isaac Buchanan.
I'm glad you said that, because this 3.6%, want to put it into context, is genuine reflection when they characterize work as wiping windows at Devon House for 1 hour is sufficient to say you're a part of the working class?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because almost 45% of those who are working, we have some 1.49 people working. The labor force is 1.461 million, 1.49 million people who are working as at the end of July. 338,200 of those people are either wiping car glasses or selling rugs or selling sweets. And we have 265,200 working in wholesale things, wholesale enterprises of Mr. Chin. We know that pay. 201,000 people in agriculture using machetes and hoes and those things. 153,000 persons working in BPO are selling the 30 million houses that cannot sell. Right? So that's where our labor force is concentrated. We have no people working in value-added thing. Again, we had some 640,200 people were outside of the labor force. 299,800 of them were between the ages of 15 and 24. We have some 67,000 persons 25 to 34 years outside of the labor force. 43,900 are between the ages of 35 and 44 years. 49,000 between the ages of 45 and 54 years. Only 177,000 of the persons outside of the labor force were retired. So the Jamaica's human capital has been devastated because of the lack of expenditure on education and training. And that is why, although we have the 3.6% unemployment, the economy is in a recession because we're not doing any value added or skilled work. It's just hustling.
I'm glad that you said that because I wanted to add to that or comment to that the fact that the PSOJ, for those who don't know, the private sector of Jamaica is saying that we need to import skilled labor and there has to be something in place to allow them to bring in workers from abroad to come and fill the spaces. In the context that the Manley International Airport, there was some job for a parking lot attendant and you needed two things: a degree that is a bachelor or the equivalent to park cars, as well as be bilingual. That is at least know how to speak or navigate Spanish, a second language per se.
Right.
Help
And we're saying that we reject that notion because we're saying we have some 1.461 million people in our labor force who need training, and we have another 694,200 persons outside of the labor force, 300,000 of which should be in the labor force, which need training. So we have 1.9 million people that needs training. Yeah. So we need to train our own people because if we can't pay them well, how is it that we're going to bring foreigners here? Because we have to go to pay the foreigners, we have to pay them more, and we have to pay them in foreign exchange, and we'll have to provide housing and all of those things. So we believe that's a very bad idea. What we need is a massive training program in Jamaica rather than the giveaways that we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right. I'm so
my viewers and subscribers, you hear from the two experts, the constitution specialist lawyer in Isaac Buchanan and the #1 economist in Jamaica. And we all know it is Ralston Hyman. But hear what he said about the Jamaican labor force. The Jamaican labor force is 1.461 million current as I speak. But I want you to listen this, Listen what he just revealed, 338,200 of those people were either wiping car glass or selling rugs or sweetie. 338,200 of those people were either wiping car glasses, selling rugs, sweetie, phone card, bag juice, cane man, peanut man, drops man, back road girls. I want them to get to Agwan. He stated also that, and we have another 265,200 working in wholesale and Mr. Chin enterprise. He goes on and he stated again, we have another 201,000 people in agriculture using machete, fork, and hose. So this is the 3.6 unemployment percent what Andrew Holness talk about. This is what them boasting about, you know. The 3.6 unemployment percent what in a Jamaica right now. But the list of people that make up the most of this unemployment is not really of no value to the country. You don't see why we economy in a trouble, man. You don't see why we economy in a trouble. 338,200 of those people were either wiping car glass, selling rags, sweetie, phone card, drops, peanut, banana chips, sky juice, bag juice, name it. Name it. And we also have another 265,000 who they work for Mr. Chin. Another 201,000 people in agriculture using machete, fork, and hoe and them thing there. So when them a boast about the unemployment, all car glass wiper in it, peanut vendor in it, phone card vendor in it, the cigarette money in it, the cane money in it, the jerk chicken money in it, the pork money in it. Name it Jamaica. Name it. But the workforce not have no value in it where it concern high trades. So our economy is stifling because there is no growth and development is taking place in our economy. So when you have man like Ralston Hyman come and they break down them things that we have to just sit down and listen and take in every damn minute of it. Reminisce on it. Make it large and stuck in our cranium. Think about that, Jamaica. Think about that, my viewers and subscribers. The Andrew Holness corrupt administration has just been exposed one more time by the economics guru Ralston Hyman and the constitution boss Isaac Buchanan is making most Jamaicans know that the Jamaican politician are the highest paid in the Caribbean. But as he move on, he explained to us as well that the Jamaican economy is the worst in the Caribbean. So you have the worst economy in the Caribbean, but your politician them is getting the highest pay in the Caribbean. Make that make sense? Make that make sense? Jamaica have the worst economy in the Caribbean, but our politician them getting the highest pay in the Caribbean. And it did not stop there. He goes on and he stated, in terms of salary, Jamaicans are the lowest in the Caribbean. That means to say we are the poorest in the Caribbean. The only person we are ahead of is Haiti. Jamaica is the poorest in the Caribbean where it's regard in salary. We have the worst economy in the Caribbean, but our politicians, they are getting the highest pay in the Caribbean. Make it sink in, my viewers and subscribers, and think about that. Tell me what you think down below, because this is a hot issue and a hot topic. You know, make your finger then get busy. Make your finger them get busy, man, and tell me down there in the comment section. Tell me down there in the comment section. Almighty God. The worst economy in the Caribbean. And our politicians, they are getting the best salary in the Caribbean. Make it sink in. Make it sink in, man. Make it sink in. Anyway, my viewers and subscribers, remember to stay tuned to Aromatic Realistic TV. Like and share and follow the movement. Be a part of history. Make when history rewrite, you are on the right side. So you are one of them who when whoop me your mouth. You are one of them who when type up in the comment section. You are one of them who when like the video them and share them out there to the rest of the world so them can see it. You play your part. Don't make history rewrote and you did not do anything. When your grandpitney and your great grandpitney they ask you, what did you do? Make sure you can tell them that you did something positive on their behalf to rescue Jamaica. We continue to tell the masses God and good road. And the matter continue to remind you. So the signature word, art of love. Until then, on the matic, we chat again. Peace and love. I'm out.